Well, the sun is out here in the Wairarapa, and I'm talking about one of my favourite summertime herbs. She's in full bloom. The bees are loving it, and the smell is one of those smells which lets your whole body go. Ah, that's right. This week we're talking about English lavender, or Lavender angustifolia. Let's get started, shall we?
Well, hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome to Project Joyful, the podcast for health-centered leaders. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist, neuro-identity evolution practitioner, and high-performance coach. So hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy, moment by moment. It's also about bringing that joy into your workplace and using your skills as a health-centered leader to heal your team. So let's get started, shall we?
Lavender is the herb for soothing and calming. Whether that's a frazzled mind, sunburned or windburned skin, or those itchy insect bites. It's also the herb best known for lifting our mood, easing anxiety and improving our sleep. Lavender is one of the few essential oils that can be applied directly to your skin, but I would recommend you do a patch test first. And if your skin can tolerate it, it's a great thing to do with insect bites, as a dab of that essential oil relieves that itch almost instantly. This Mediterranean herb grows so easily in the Wairarapa sunshine, and it's my go-to during the summer for dissuading flies from hanging about. Burn some lavender essential oil and they simply find somewhere else to hang out. Oh, and the bees love lavender. Now, lavender is great for supporting your skin during hot, sunny days and generally bringing a bit of peace to the end of the day. Nothing beats a soak in the bath with lavender essential oil. It's my favourite. Now, herbalists use lavender angustifolia, or English lavender. It's known for its smaller, tidy flower heads, and it's a bit more robust than the French lavenders. Run your hands over it and inhale that delicious lavender scent. It's so easy to grow. We've got lavender borders around our damask rose garden, and I've got to tell you, that intoxicating scent of damask rose, lavender and thyme, well, it's hard to beat. Now, you can grow lavender in a pot, as a hedge or border, or individually amongst your garden. It likes full sun with not too rich a soil. So the key thing with your soil is that it needs to drain easily, because lavender does not like wet feet. When you first plant it, give it water frequently. And then after the first year, you can leave it to do its thing. Give your lavender a thorough haircut before each spring. Now, this takes courage to lop off those branches, but you will be rewarded with tender spring tips and a nice tidy lavender. So be brave. Forgo the trim and lavender turns into this rambling woody thing. Lavender is a wonderful herb for supporting our mental health. It calms and relaxes, and at higher doses it can also be used as a sedative. And studies show inhaling lavender essential oil, it's diluted to a 10% concentration, can increase theta and alpha brainwaves. Now, beta brainwaves, they're observed when there's a high level of anxiety or when we're active and alert. And this is helpful. It serves a purpose, so it's not something to avoid. Alpha brainwaves, well, they're linked with feeling relaxed and sort of a passive observation of things. And theta brainwaves are observed when there's deep relaxation and inward focus. Lavender soothes anxiety, and it can lift the mood where there's mild depression. Animal studies where the lavender is inhaled have reported that lavender's anxiolytic effects are equivalent to diazepam. And there are also studies which report lavender's mild anticholinergic, neuroprotective and antioxidant activities might be helpful in supporting Alzheimer's disease. In a study with people with anxiety, restlessness and agitation, they were taking a product which had the equivalent of 80 milligrams of lavender essential oil. Now, these people reported improvement in symptoms such as restlessness, disturbed sleep, and tension. And they also reported just generally feeling better within themselves and experiencing an improved quality of life. In another study, which was short in duration because it only lasted 6 weeks, adults with generalized anxiety disorder were taking this same product. Now remember, this is equivalent of 80 milligrams of lavender essential oil. And it was compared to a control group who were taking the anti-anxiety medication known as lorazepam. And this study reported that the lavender product reduced anxiety to a level that was comparable to taking 0.5 milligram of lorazepam each day. Now, my favourite one for anyone who's nervous about a trip to the dentist was a study which reported that the scent of lavender reduced anxiety that comes on when you're thinking about a trip to a dentist. But it doesn't help the patients feel any better about future visits to the dentist, though. But imagine if you were sitting in the waiting room and that waft of lavender was coming through. There are studies which report improvement from taking a lavender tincture in patients with mild to moderate depression as well. In a small study, there were only 48 adults in this one with mild to moderate depression. Researchers compared taking lavender tincture with a control group of patients who were taking 100 milligrams of imipropine each day. And they reported feeling a better and earlier improvement. Now, in addition to those anticholinergic side effects of imipropine, such as a dry mouth and urinary retention, this was reported less often when the lavender was taken alongside the imipropine. So you see, herbal medicine can also be used to support your drug protocol. Now, I'm not saying whip out a bottle of lavender essential oil and start drinking that. These studies are illustrative of the opportunities that are available to you when you incorporate lavender into your life. If you'd like to use something like this to support a health condition, such as anxiety or depression, speak with a trained medical professional, such as a medical herbalist, as they'll be able to provide a bespoke combination of herbs and a dose that's specific to you. And more importantly, that's something that works alongside your current health protocols. There are a number of studies which report a reduction in insomnia and better quality sleep when taking lavender. And interestingly, these studies are showing that people can take this without that next day hangover that often occurs with many sleep remedies. So pop some lavender essential oil on your pillow, just 6 to 8 drops, or tuck a lavender sachet under your pillow slip. Now make sure it's your natural lavender, not a synthetic alternative. And if baths are your thing, you could sink back into a luxurious bath or add some lavender tincture to your sleep mix if you prefer. And if you like the taste, lavender tea works a treat. Personally, I find the taste a bit soapy and a bit too perfumed for me though. Now, lavender is a potent women's medicine, particularly if you suffer with premenstrual tension. It relieves pain, it improves mood, it helps you to sleep better and reduces anxiety. Try rubbing a lavender-infused oil on your belly when you're feeling premenstrual, and as a general rule of thumb, add 12 drops of your lavender essential oil to 30 ml of olive oil. Warm it in your hands and rub it around your belly, starting at the bottom right, moving up and across, and then down the left-hand side until you're back where you started. Lavender is also traditionally known as the skin herb. It heals and repairs burns and insect bites as well. And studies support this because they've reported lavender's ability to speed up wound healing by increasing collagen and supporting the body in its tissue remodeling process. And it's also antibacterial. What's not to love? So how do I like to take my lavender? Well, she grows in my garden and I love to run my hand along her flowers as I walk by. I burn it in my room. I've got lavender-infused candle on the go right now. I add lavender essential oil to my bath, and I love to add it to my de-stress herbal tincture, when things are a bit busy. In the summer, it's one of my key lotions and potions as I do my best to balance out that strong white apple sun. And so I know we all have times when we wish for a bit more peace and tranquility in life. During those times, think lavender. And find a way to bring more lavender into your life. Now remember, Just because it's natural doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. So if you've got any health conditions, you're taking any medications, you're trying to get pregnant, or you are pregnant, or you're lactating, please do seek the advice of a medical herbalist. Not only are we trained in herb-drug interactions and herb supplement interactions, but we can also create a bespoke herbal medicine that's specific for you and specific for what's going on in your life. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.